Suppose that 7 quarters, 9 dimes, 4 nickels, and 8 pennies are in a box. One coin is selected at random. What is the expected value of the money drawn from the box? Okay, so this is an expected value problem. Expected value is an important calculation. How it is you take P1 times V1 plus P2 times V2 plus etc., where P1 is probability of event number 1, and V1, whoops, let me back up there a little bit, is the value of usually the dollar value of event number 1, etc. So it's probability times value plus probability times value, etc. So let's list this out. So we have this box that has 7 quarters, 9 dimes, 4 nickels, and 8 pennies. In a box, you stick in your hand and mix around at random, and you pick one coin out at random. What is the expected value? Expected value is another word for average value, average dollars. What's the average monetary value you're going to pick out? What's the lowest, if you're just going to pick one coin out, what's the lowest amount of money you could get out? A penny, 1 cent. What's the highest? A quarter, 25 cents. So you know that you're going to get some amount of money out of that box. If you're just going to pick one coin out at random, you're going to get some amount of money between 1 cent and 25 cents, right? Or and put that in dollars. Well, one penny and 1 cent and 25 cents, somewhere in that region. So the average, like if you do this time after time after time after time after time, and find your average over a long period of time, that's what expected value is. It's the average thing that can happen. And it's really, really an important calculation when it comes to probability, because probability is random, sort of. It's random with a very predictable outcome in the long run. It's what casinos and insurance companies base their entire business on, and they do well in business. So this mathematical calculation called expected value is very important. It basically tells you the average that you can expect of something that's random over time, right? If you just keep pulling coins out of this drawer, sometimes out of this box, sometimes you get a quarter, you get 25 cents, sometimes you just get a penny, sometimes you get a dime, sometimes you get a nickel. You know, there's different things that are going to happen. What's going to happen on average? Well, it depends how many quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies are in there. If there's a whole bunch more quarters, you would tend to get closer to 25 cents on average. If there's more pennies, you get a lower average. You get the idea, right? It has to do with the probability of getting a quarter, dime, nickel, or penny, and it has to do with the value of those. So the average value you're going to pull out of that box. This is what insurance companies use and casinos, as I said. All right, so let's go to it. So the first off, we could get, let's talk about the different events that can happen. So you got to list out the different events that can happen. You can get a quarter. You could get a quarter out of that box at random. You could get a dime out of that box at random. You could get a nickel out of that box at random, and you could get a penny out of that box at random. So for each of those, we've got to take the probability of that times the value of that, the monetary value of that, and then just add those up. So so if you get a quarter, what's the probability of getting a quarter? Well, there's 7 quarters. How many total coins? Let's see, 7 plus 9 plus 4 plus 8 was that 12, 21, 28 total coins. There's 28 total coins in the box. So the chance you're going to get a quarter, the probability of event number 1 of getting a quarter is 7 out of 28. We don't need to reduce the fraction. Just leave it. We're going to do it all in a calculator in a minute. So 7 out of 28. That's the probability of getting a quarter times, then you got to multiply by the value. What's the monetary value 25 cents. In fact, let me just get rid of these extra dot there and just say times 25 cents, right? That's the value if you get a quarter out. Plus, next come the dimes. What's the probability of getting a dime? How many dimes? There's 9 dimes out of 28 times the value of a dime, 10 cents. Plus, what's the probability of getting a nickel out of the box on one draw? 4 nickels out of 28 coins times the value of a nickel, 0.05. Plus, what's the chance of getting a penny? 8 pennies out of 28 coins. Value of a penny is 1 cent. So there it is. That's going to be the expected, what you expect, or average value. Let's use our calculator now to come up with that. So this is the expected or average, average. It's what you expect to happen on average over time. So on your calculator, you just simply need to take 7 divided by 28 times 0.25 plus 9 divided by 28 times 0.10 plus etc. Just keep going. Just divide the fractions, multiply the other numbers. I'm doing it right now, as you can hear. And I'm getting 0.10464. How far do they want me to round here? Nearest tenth of a cent. Okay. So, here I'll go 28571. So here's what I got. Now this is dollars. How do I know this is dollars? Well, all these were in dollars, right? These were all dollars. So I've got to change it to cents. So you got to move the decimal 2 places. So it's 10.464285571 cents. Move it 2 places, right? Because this decimal's here, that's 10 cents. So they want me to round it. So it is 10.5 cents. So there's our answer, 10.5 cents. So on average, we expect to get out of this box 10.5 cents. There's no way you're going to get exactly 10.5 cents. You're either going to get a quarter, dime, nickel, or penny. You can't get exactly 10.5. But what that means is that's on average. You know, sometimes we'll get quarters, sometimes dimes, nickels, and pennies. Over time, if we did this again and again and again, every time pulling a coin out, writing it down, and then putting it back, mixing it up, and picking a coin out of this box that has these coins, if we did it like 100 times and figured our average is going to be really close to 10.5 cents. Now, why that matters is because if this was a casino and this was a casino game, they would figure out this average ahead of time using math, and then they would charge people to play this game just a little bit more than it's going to pay on average so that they make money. So they would say, okay, you can play this game, it's going to cost 12 cents or 15 cents. So you pay 15 cents and you reach in to pick out a thing. Now you could get a quarter and make money. You know, or you could get a dime and just lose a little, or a nickel and a penny, right? And they would charge just a little bit more than they know people are going to get out on average. So they figure ahead of time what people are going to get out of every casino game, blackjack, craps, roulette, slot machines. They know on average what people are going to get paid per roll of the die, or pull of the handle, or deal of the cards. They know, and then they charge just a little bit more than you're going to get on average so that they make sure they're making money on average. They don't win every time, but on average, after thousands of people play, they will win because on average they're winning. And that's how insurance companies work too. They figure out what you're going to cost the insurance company for your car insurance or your home insurance. They figure out what it's going to cost on average, and for them, because the probability, right? There's a probability you're going to crash your car, or somebody's going to crash into you, an uninsured motorist, and they have to pay. there's a probability of all that stuff and how much they might have to pay. It's an expected value calculation. They figure that out and charge you just a little bit more so that they can make money.